Hi, everybody. Melinda Russell here with Let's Talk Racing Live. And I've got a couple of really cute young girls with me tonight that are my guests, and they go by the name Two Sisters Racing. I think that's the perfect name. The other good name for you guys would be Sister Act. Did you ever watch the Sister Act movies? So, Two Sisters Racing, that would be Cadence and Brooke. And so we're going to find out a little bit more about these girls, where they're from, where they race, and how they got started in racing. So, girls, welcome to the show. And I want to
Hi.
start, we're going to start with you, Cadence. Why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself, your age, where you live, just anything about you that maybe people would be interested in knowing.
Okay, so my name is Cadence. I am 12 years old. I live in Morgantown, PA. I go to Twin Valley Middle School. I have 7 chickens, so three dogs, a bunny, and 4 fish. So it's kind of
Wow.
little in our house.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've got a busy house if you've got that many pets to take care
yeah.
of. For sure. And Brooke, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Brooke, and I'm 10 years old, and I live in Morgantown, PA, and I am going to the middle school now. I just finished elementary school, and this weekend, my parents are going to drop me off in the Poconos because I'm going to a gymnastics camp for a week, and there's Olympic coaches there, and I have 7 chickens, 3 dogs, 4 fish, and then the bunny is my sister's.
Okay. But I bet you like playing with the bunny too, don't you? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So your chickens, I want to ask you something about them because since the pandemic, if I could talk, a lot of people have started raising chickens. And my one friend raises chickens, which I just have to laugh at her about because she treats them like they're her little family. And I said, "Well, are you going to eat them one day?" And she said, "Oh, no, I couldn't eat them. They all have names." So do your chickens
Yeah.
have names?
Yes, all of them have names.
And do they lay eggs, all of them?
Yeah. Well, not all of them. Only 3 of them do, but the other 4 will start laying eggs kind of in probably 2 months or so.
Okay. And is that why you got the chickens or you just wanted to raise some chickens?
No, we got them so we could get eggs because they got so expensive. So,
Okay. Yeah, just like my friend. That's why she did that too. So she's not gonna she's not gonna eat her chickens. She's just gonna let her chickens lay eggs, and
yep,
so
that's
that's what you're gonna do. Okay, that's perfect. So Cadence, you're in middle school. What do the kids say about you racing? Do they know that you race? Do they make fun of you? Do they, sometimes boys make fun of girls doing racing stuff. Tell me about how your classmates feel about you racing.
a bunch of people know that I race, and they think it's really cool that I do that. And they always ask questions about it, so I always answer their questions and stuff like that. So,
Okay, that's good. How about you, Brooke? What are your classmates? Do they know you race?
Yeah, I told a lot of my friends, and they say it's really cool. And some of them say they want to come watch me race because they have never watched us race before.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think they would find out that it's a lot of fun to watch and they probably would have a better understanding of what you do because a lot of times if kids haven't been to the racetrack, they don't really understand what it's all about and how hard it is. And so I think if they come to watch, they'd be like, "Oh, that's a lot harder than I thought it was going to be," right?
yeah.
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 Yeah, for sure. So when you girls are not racing, what other things do you like to do? Do you play basketball, volleyball? You do gymnastics, I think, Brooke, it sounds like. So, Cadence, do you have anything you do besides racing?
Yes, I do volleyball. I am going to 2 Penn State camps this summer, and one in King of Prussia, and also one at my school. And also sometimes me, my dad, and Brooke will go golfing, which is fun because I used to be on a PGA team, but not anymore because of racing. It's just that I've been doing that more than golf. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would just like to do all those things. And also, what also I really like to do is art.
Huh.
So I really like to enjoy doing art. I just think that it's fun.
Good.
I just
And
enjoy it.
I like hearing that you like art because that's something you can do all the rest of your life. You can even be old like me and draw
Yeah.
and paint and stuff. So that's a really good thing to be interested in. So Brooke, gymnastics. I heard your sister say golf. What else do you like to do?
I also like to do in the summer. I like to play with my friends, and if Cadence wants to do volleyball and she has no one to do volleyball, I'll go out back or out front and do volleyball with her. And then sometimes if she gets bored and she has no one to do arts and crafts with, I'll do arts and crafts with her.
Okay, good. So I'm a big scrapbooker. I used to scrapbook a lot more than I do now because I don't have time. But I do make handmade journals, handmade cookbooks, and a lot of things that have like racing theme to it, like racing paper and stuff. So I like doing that too. And I like to do that all year round, not just in the winter. So that's kind of what I do outside of all the racing things that I do. So racing, you're 12 and 10. Cadence, how long have you been involved in motorsports and how did you get started? Are you froze? Did you hear me? Okay, I'm going to say it again. Cadence, can you hear me? Something's happened to the sound. I'm not sure what. So, Cadence, can you hear me? I think we lost him somehow. Hey, Dad, if you can hear me, raise your hand if you can hear me, girls. Hmm. Okay, they're going to log out and log back in. Sometimes we have some technical issues, and it's been storming. Maybe it's storming in Pennsylvania now because it was storming here in Michigan. So it may be that some of those storms went that way. So let's give them a minute to get back on here and that because I don't think they could hear me. So yeah, I was watching the start of the NASCAR race. I was disappointed. Oh, there they come.
There we go.
There we go. You got froze up. If that happens again, just do what you just did. Get out and get back in. So I was just saying that the weather's been kind of funny here, raining and blowing, and so
Yeah.
maybe you're having some weather too somewhere that's doing that. So let's talk about your racing. How old were you when you got started, Cadence? And what were you driving? How did you get started in motorsports?
Well, I started at 4.5, but I couldn't start racing against other people until 5 because that was just the rule. And I started racing at when my dad's friends they told us that I should try this driver's experience. So I did it, and when I first got in the car, I really liked it. And the one time when I did it, I didn't know really how to stop the car, so I ran into a wall. And so, yeah, it was a little funny.
Well, that's a hard way to learn, but I guess it's a good way because you don't forget after that, after you run into a wall.
Yeah.
So, Brooke, your sister was racing. How about you? Did you see her racing and you wanted to do it too, or how did you get started?
Well, I got started because my dad, I was watching her at the racetrack and I thought it was really cool. And then my dad also wanted me to race too. And I also started when I was 5. And I remember the one time I was really scared in the car, so like I was running up the wall, and then I started getting too close to the wall, so then my tire started going up the wall, and I flipped really slowly, but I was smiling because it was so much fun.
So you flipped over, but you really, after you experienced that, now you've been like, oh, I've done that. So now it's no big deal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't want to flip, but at least if you did, now you know how that feels. So for sure. So, Cadence, when you started racing, were you driving quarter midgets, carts? What were you learning in?
I was driving quarter midgets. Same on.
Okay. And same for you, Brooke, right? Quarter midgets.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have a hometown track where you always go to race, or do you travel around?
We always on Wednesday nights we usually go to a track in Phoenixville, and it's like about 30 minutes away from our house, so it's not that far. So every Wednesday we go there and race. Every other week we get to race two cars. It's just that they like switch it around for classes and stuff like that, but it's fun. So
Okay. And is that a quarter midget track? That's all
yeah,
they do at that track?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's dirt. We don't usually do asphalt.
Okay. So you race dirt and you race about 30 minutes away. That's not a bad travel, for your parents to go. That's a good distance. Not, I was just talking to a gal. They drive 5.5 hours to go to this certain place where they race. And I'm afraid that I probably wouldn't let my kids do that because that's too far to go
That's
every
really
week. Yeah, that's a far to go.
well.
So go ahead.
We don't just like race at that track, but that's the track that we like race at just for weekly. But we when there's regionals and nationals, we usually go there and do all that stuff, and it's
Okay.
yeah.
And is that normally in Pennsylvania or is it other states? Brooke, do you
No,
know?
it's other states too.
Other
It
state.
could be Delaware, Maryland, Pennsylvania,
Okay.
India, Illinois. It could be
Okay.
yeah.
All over the place. So Brooke, I know you guys went to Indy, not this year, but you've been there. Tell me about going to Indy and driving your car. Was that fun?
I had fun driving at Indy. It was really cool to experience it because we'd never been there, and that was our first time. And when we drove around the big track, it was really cool. But like I felt bad for the dads because almost every car kept stopping. They wouldn't go, so like the dads would have to run around the whole track. So,
Poor
but it was
dad. Yeah. I've seen when my granddaughters raced quarter midgets, the most entertaining thing about it was watching my son-in-law run behind him and push him. So I can understand. I can understand, but I do feel bad for the dads because they usually have to do that. Sometimes it's the moms, but most often it's the dads for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
about
uh-huh.
that, we had to have like a really big year and then a really small year, so it was hard to start. So that's
Oh
why.
yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure you weren't the only ones that had that issue going around the track for sure. Yeah. So, Brooke, what's your quarter midget look like? What color is it? What number is it? And how did you pick your number?
Pick your first one.
well. I have two, so I'm gonna pick my first one.
You can tell. Okay, you can tell me about both of them.
Okay. My number's two. I picked the number two because I just like even numbers, and I just like picked a number, and I picked two. So, I have my numbers two, and then my first car that I had, and I still have it since I was a rookie. It's rainbow, and I might be getting rid of it soon because I'm getting too big for it. And
Okay.
then the other car, I got it like 3 years ago or something like that. And it's purple, blue, pink, black, and white.
Okay. That sounds like the perfect color for a girl's car.
Why'd you pick the rainbow?
Well, I picked the rainbow because when I was little, I really liked rainbows.
And you
And-
wanted every color.
Yeah, and I just wanted
Just
every
like-
color, and I was like, Dad, I just want like every color. He's like, what about a rainbow color? I'm like, yeah, sure.
That was a good choice. I like that choice for sure. And I know I saw a picture. Don't you have 5 cars between the two of you?
We run 6.
Okay. So Brooke, you have 2 cars. And then Cadence, do you have 3 different cars that you race?
Yeah.
Okay. Why don't you tell us about those?
Okay, so I have 3 cars, but I race 4 classes. So my dad will, if I want to race a different class, like in the one car that I'm about to explain, my dad has to switch out the motor between 2 classes. So the one car is, it has like a flame on it. It's red, purple, black, and maybe I don't think there's any white on it. No, I think that's it. And then my other car, it's blue, red, orange, yellow, and that's it. And then my light 160 is orange, black, and white.
Okay. So you run light 160. What other classes do you run in?
Light World Formula, Senior Honda, and Senior Animal.
Okay. And Brooke, what classes do you run in?
I race in the light 160. I'm starting to race that now. And I also race Senior Honda and Senior Animal.
Okay. All right. So if you want to race that extra class, your dad's busy. He's got to pull that motor out and put the other one in. I bet he's gotten good at that, has he?
I would say so.
Yeah, I would say so too. You have to be, because what if you're racing back to back? That would be tough for sure.
It is
And-
tough.
Yeah. And what number are you, Cadence? Are your cars all the same number?
Yeah, they're all the same number. It's number 10, and the reason why I chose that number is when I first started racing, I wasn't sure what number I was gonna do, but then when I was watching NASCAR and all that stuff, Danica Patrick, when she was racing, I really liked her, as a
A role model.
yeah, she just because she was a girl and she raced in NASCAR
Right.
and all stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I up to her, so I just put my race cars as number 10.
That was a good way to name number your car for sure. So, do you have any memorable moments so far in racing? So, Brooke, I'm going to let you go first. Do you have any racing moment that just really means a lot to you, or that it could be something good that happened or even something bad that happened, like when you flipped over, but it's memorable. You're never going to forget it.
Well, I'm never gonna forget that.
For what?
Yeah, it was at BAPS. I was in my senior Honda car, my rainbow car,
You were in second
and I was
place.
in second place. And then I crashed into the wall by the flagger, and my gear split in half, and it looked like a horseshoe.
Oh my goodness. Well, I'd have saved that for luck. Did you save it?
Yeah, we saved it, and I gave it to my dad's mom.
Okay. So gave it to your grandma. Okay. And Cadence, how about you? Do you have a memorable moment?
Well, the one that I have a bunch, but I think the one I'm gonna choose is when I first started racing my Light World Formula. It was kind of new to me. We went to a track. It's called Blue Mountain. So we went there. I think it was a regional maybe or something like that.
It was their brawl.
Yeah, it was a regional, right?
Yeah.
We were there, and I was in the B main, and it was really exciting. I got first and made it to the A main, so it was really exciting because it was new, and I won that race, and there were so many good drivers in there.
Yeah. So you really did a good job, and you'll never forget that, because that was a big deal at the time, wasn't it? Yeah. So do you know David Gravel Racing? Do you know who that is? Okay. Well, he said, this is cool. Your interview is cool. How about Marie Beasley? Do you know her? She must know you. It says, hi, girls. Okay. And then how about David Fisher? He says, are you planning on going to Tulsa this winter for the shootout or Chili Bowl?
Not quite. We're not old enough yet.
No,
Not old enough yet.
for that.
Okay. Not old enough yet. But maybe one day we'll see you there, won't we?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Usually the people that have questions are people that know you. So I figured, that was somebody that maybe knew who you were for sure. So, who helps you with your car? I know your dad. He's standing there. He does. Do you have anybody else that helps you?
Well, we have friends, and sometimes he'll help us. Who else? We
Mom.
have? Yeah, mom. We have mom. Well,
Yeah, don't forget mom.
But,
Mom and dad help, right?
yeah.
Okay. And Brooke, I'm going to ask you. You can answer for the two of you. Do you girls help with the cars at all? Does your dad give you jobs that you have to do to keep the
Yeah.
cars, in working order? What do you have to do?
Sometimes, like after the races, he'll ask us to dry the tires after he washes them, or he'll ask Cadence to do the tires, like pressure them and stuff like that. For the
Yeah,
tires.
before races, sometimes I'll have to put them at a certain pressure so that it makes it either loose or tight, like it's at the
Right.
the right
Okay.
stack.
So you're learning too how to do some of those things so that as you get older, even if you move up to a different class or a different kind of race car, you're going to know. So your dad's helping you learn, isn't he? Doing all that. Yeah. So we have a question from Marie Beasley. She says, what is your dream race car that you would love to compete with? So if you could just pick any car, any kind of racing, NASCAR, sprint car, World of Outlaws, whatever it might be. What would it be? What's your dream race car that you would love to drive? You got any answers for me? How about you, Cadence? You got an answer?
It's a little hard because there's so many race cars, but I think it would be pretty cool just to go in a bigger car, like maybe 602 crate or something like that. Just a bigger car, I think would be really cool to do something.
Okay. And what about you, Brooke?
I think it would be cool to do drag racing because.
Oh yeah.
Because
that's a whole different kind of driving. Dad, you better get your pocketbook out if she wants to do drag racing.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, that was Marie's question. So we'll go back to mine now. How about marketing partners, sponsors? Do you have anybody on your cars that help you pay for things, equipment, and go to the racetrack? Brooke, you're shaking your head. So tell me who they are. Some of them.
We have our main ones are AJ's Pizza, Loretta, Liebert, and then the other one.
We have P&J Auctions. We have Big Shot Rides, which is our uncle that does the wraps on our car.
Mm-hmm.
We have
Dent Lab.
Yeah, we have Dent Lab. Do we have any?
Ajax Painting is a big one. Kitty.
I don't know.
That's our cousin.
What is it called?
Ajax Painting.
Ajax Painting is also another one. Kitty Academy. It's a daycare. I think that's it. Is that it? I'm pretty sure that's it.
So I'm going to ask you a question. When did you go to the sponsors to try to get them? Or was that kind of your dad's job, or both of you? How did you get your sponsors?
My job.
Well, our dad obviously had to drive us there, but we would always ask them if they wanted to be our sponsor. Our dad wouldn't even say anything. We would ask, do you want to be our sponsor? Do you want to be part of this or something like that or something? Yeah.
And so it's hard to turn down two cute little girls when they come in and ask for help. So that was probably, I mean, it's not easy, but it'd be easy to say no to your dad is what I'm saying. But when you girls go and somebody sees that you're passionate about racing, but you need some help getting on the track, then that's more likely that they're going to say yes and help you. So remember that. Remember that if you want to race, part of the deal is you have to find sponsors. And it sounds like you guys have done a good job of that already. So
Yeah, it's 100% right.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
So everybody doesn't have a, yeah, go ahead. I couldn't hear you.
we've had some really good sponsors.
Yeah.
So.
It sounds like it. And we always want to thank them, because we couldn't do it without them. And so every day is not a good day at the racetrack. We all have bad days. Brooke, on a bad day at the track, do you cry? Do you have a tantrum? Or do you just be like,
I don't.
tomorrow's another day? How do you react if you have a bad day at the racetrack?
Well, I mean, it's a little bit of all, or like sometimes I don't talk.
Okay.
A little bit of like everything.
You don't communicate.
Yeah, I don't communicate.
You kind of shut down.
Yes.
Yeah.
You shut down. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Maybe a good thing to learn is to wait until you're on the way home or the next day and then talk about it. Say, hey, what should I have done different? Or sometimes it's not your fault, Somebody runs into you, the car breaks. There's things that you can't control.
We
right?
do that.
Yeah. So Cadence, what happens? What do you do on a bad day at the track?
Well, I get upset because usually I know when it's my fault, so I get upset and kind of cry sometimes. But we have this thing. It's called the driver of the night when we go race at Phoenixville on a Wednesday night, or just anywhere or something like that. And we'll ask our dad. We'll be like, "Who's the driver of the day or the night?" Like if it's during the day, or we'll just say, "Who's the driver of the night?" And he'll say if it's either Brooke or me. So
yeah. So you want to try to win the driver of the night from your dad, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But like you said, sometimes it's not your fault and he understands that. So I'm sure he's pretty easy on you for sure. So do you guys know John Suhm, Suhm? He says, who's your favorite race car driver?
Mine is, he's a NASCAR driver, is Eric Arola. Because number's 10, he's one of my favorite drivers.
Okay. And how about you, Brooke? Who's your favorite?
I would have to say Kyle Busch because, since he's a NASCAR driver, I always saw his M&M's car, so I thought that was really cool. So.
Yeah. You and I are in the same boat. We love Kyle Busch. That's good. So Mary, I want to keep saying Mary. It's Marie. Marie Beasley says, do you have a routine on race day? Like what you diet, exercise, like, do you have a certain thing that you want to eat on race day? I don't eat on race day. I always have to have my McDonald's, whatever on race day. What would it be? Either one of you, go ahead.
Mine would be that for some reason, I always yawn before I go out on the racetrack. So it's just my thing that I do. It's just
okay. Do you eat on race day?
Yeah.
Yeah. And is it like I always eat Subway or something, or do you just eat whatever your mom makes?
No, we just eat whatever.
Okay. All right. How about you, Brooke?
I always at the racetrack, I always ask for money to go to the snack shack and get candy. Like almost every Wednesday.
Okay. Well, that's good. You're 10 years old. You should be having candy, right?
Go around the track.
Exactly. And that sugar, that gives you that energy to go faster around the track. So that's good for sure. Yeah. So What's your favorite part of being a race car driver? Cadence.
Uh,
Question.
I do like the competition that we have, and also I really like going to different places and just going there and trying all those tracks. It's just really fun doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay. Brooke, how about you?
Um, my favorite part about racing is probably um, competing against my friends in the race and also probably playing with my friends at the racetrack.
Okay.
Beating
So,
your sister.
so the kids that you race with, the kids that you're racing with that are now your friends, are they kids that you already knew before racing, or you've been made friends with them since you started racing?
Both.
yeah, both. Because we've met some at racing, but we've also met some before racing.
Okay. All right. And those are tend to be your friends for life, the ones that you race with, because you're spending so much time together. Yeah. And it can be girls and boys. You know, my granddaughter was always really competitive on the track. And then as soon as they got off, they went and did whatever, with each other. So they can be, very competitive on the track, but then they can be your best friend once the racing's done. And I
Yeah.
like that. I like that part of it for sure.
Even
Yeah.
sisters. Even
Yes.
sisters.
Even just me and Brooke, like we just were competitive.
different on the
Yeah,
track.
it's different on the track. We're just
Right.
focused.
Because you race against each other in the light 160?
Senior.
No, just
Not
in-
anymore. Okay.
Well,
No, they race in.
yeah, we
Three of them.
raced together in 3 of them. Yeah,
Oh, and 3 of them. Okay.
senior animal and senior Honda.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when little sister beats big sister, is that bad? Is it a problem, or has that ever happened?
It's a big deal.
It's a big deal. Who's it a big deal for?
The little one.
Oh, so do you hold that over big sister's head? Hey, I beat you today, wah wah, or not? Yes. Brooke, don't do that. Oh, that's funny. And how about you, Cadence? How do you feel when little sister wins? Is it like, I'm proud of that, she's my little sister, or it's like, I'm going to get you the next time?
I would say it depends on the day.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm proud of her, but sometimes I need to get her next time.
Okay, good. I want to hear that. I want you to hear that. So John, I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, Shuhm. He says, my race car driver is Kyle Larson and Logan Schuchart. 1S, Jacob Allen, Jeremy Schultz. I have lots of them. I'm with you, John. I have lots of favorite drivers too, for sure. And as you girls get older, you'll have more and more favorite drivers too.
Yeah.
So who are your biggest fans? Not mom and dad. We don't count them. Do you have somebody like a friend of the family, or some little kid some little girl maybe, who always wants to watch you race, or who are your biggest fans?
I would say our grandparents, definitely.
Yeah.
On my dad's side and my mom's side.
They're there every week.
Yeah, they're there usually every week.
Okay.
Track. Um,
Uncle Chris is a big fan.
yeah, our Uncle Chris is a big fan, even though he lives in Florida. He still is a big fan of us driving.
Yeah.
And there's other people that come, but they don't come as much as
Their sponsors are big.
yeah. Our sponsors are big to us.
Yeah.
Too.
Absolutely. They got to be big fans or they wouldn't be sponsoring you for sure.
Yeah.
So, I know you're young, you're 12 and 10. This is a question that I ask everybody. And if it's hard for you to answer and you don't know, that's okay. You can just say, I don't know, and we'll move on. But what's your goal for your racing career? Do you want to keep moving up to bigger cars, faster cars? Someday I want to be a NASCAR driver. Someday I want to be in the world of outlaws. What is your goal for your racing career?
Mine would probably be to get into a bigger car, like A crate
Modified.
car, modified, like just to get to those bigger cars would be really cool.
Okay. How about you, Brooke?
What is it?
I think maybe just quarter midgets, and then I'll just be sticking with gymnastics because gymnastics is mostly taking up my racing time.
Okay.
Because like during competition season, especially, it takes up my racing time. 'Cause I
Yeah.
have to
And if you want to be really good at gymnastics, you pretty much have to do that year round in a lot of hours. Yeah. I know that for sure. And that's okay. You can just race for fun. You don't have to have a big goal. You can just race when it works out, and you can go out on the track and try to beat your sister, and then, if you're gone to a gymnastics meet, then that's what you're doing, right? You don't have to have a big goal. It needs to be fun, girls. When it's somebody told me one time, when racing stops being fun, then you need to quit. And so, if it's good for now, and at some point maybe you're going to want to do something else. So, do you think racing is a good sport for girls to be involved in? And Brooke, I'm going to let you answer first.
I think so, because girls get to see like compete against boys and like see and like if there's only like one girl in the race and the rest are boys and the girl wins, like
Pretty
the girl will
cool.
be really happy.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Cadence, how about you?
Well, I think girls should definitely be in racing because it just shows that girls can do anything. It's not just because they're girls they can't do only like they can't do racing or stuff like that. They can do anything they want. Like they can do racing, they can do like it's not just a sport for boys, it's also for girls.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So you guys are old enough to maybe be a role model for kids that are younger, that are just starting. Have you had a chance to like mentor anybody, or kind of help anybody that's younger than you that's just getting started in racing?
Yeah, some of the people at our track we do, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. That's a good thing, because usually those little kids looked up to the older ones, and so that's a good thing to do for sure. So we're almost done. So I got a couple more things here for you. Social media. Do your parents do your social media? Do you do it? And like, is it Facebook? What is it that you do on social media?
Our dad does our social media. We don't have any social media. Our dad has Facebook and posts it on Instagram, but mostly Facebook usually.
Okay. And it's under Two Sisters Racing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
usually anytime that we're racing or just anything to do with racing really.
Okay. All right. So we can find out where you're going to be racing, how you did at the race. I know he posts pictures and stuff. So that's the best place for us to follow you, right? Is Two Sisters Racing? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Now I've got some fun questions for you. So these are all about your favorites. So, Brooke, we're going to let Cadence go first, and that gives you time to think about your answers. How's that? Okay, these are quick answers, Cadence. Just tell me off the top of your head what your answer would be. And if you don't have an answer, just say, I don't have an answer, or pass, or whatever. Okay? You ready? What's your favorite food or restaurant?
Oh my god. I think probably one of my favorite foods is either scallops or steak. And my favorite restaurant would probably be
Someplace where they serve steak and scallops.
yeah, just there's
A
so
good
many
steakhouse. Yeah. How about your favorite beverage?
I do like Shirley Temples.
Okay.
A lot.
All right.
Shirley Temple.
Favorite racetrack food?
Either pierogies or
I would say pierogies.
yeah, probably pierogies. Or sometimes French fries, because sometimes the French fries are good, but sometimes
Yeah. Sometimes the French fries are really good at the racetrack. I don't know why that is, but sometimes they really are. What's your favorite color?
purple and orange.
Favorite animal?
Thinking
Uh,
quick.
um,
It's a fast round.
probably, like I really do actually like toucans for some reason.
Okay, I do too. They're kind of different. I like them too. Good answer. So, a favorite vacation destination where you have already been or somewhere you would really like to go?
I would really like to go to a tropical place, or I would really like to go to Alaska.
Okay. All right. Very good. Favorite candy or snack?
Looks like there's so many.
Um,
If you could only have one ever again, what would it be?
I really like tiramisu, and I do like sour candy.
Okay. All right. Do you have a favorite racetrack, either that you've raced at or somewhere you would like to race at?
Probably Hagerstown
Hagerstown?
or Baps.
Big track.
Okay. All right.
Like the bigger ones, but are still quarter midgets.
Yeah. So, do you have a favorite movie, actor, or actress? Do you have a favorite movie that you always like to watch?
I do like to watch Harry Potter.
Okay, good answer. How about favorite music? What's your favorite kind of music?
Country.
Yeah, good girl. Good girl. Do you have a favorite artist that's a country artist, or you just like it all?
No, I like Kane Brown and Carrie Underwood.
Oh yeah, good choices for sure. How about a favorite sports team, not racing related?
Eagles
Okay,
and Philly.
you better say that. Favorite professional race car driver? We kind of already answered that question, Eric Almirola.
Yeah.
Favorite holiday?
Mm.
Probably.
Halloween, Christmas.
I like Christmas probably the most, but I also like Halloween too.
Okay, all right. Favorite TV or streaming show, like Netflix or one of those?
Your favorite show?
That's right. I can mention. My favorite show is Secrets of Sulphur Springs.
Okay.
It's on Disney Plus.
Oh yeah, I love Disney Plus. I watch Disney Plus. Favorite thing to celebrate?
My birthday.
Yeah, there you go. And favorite toy when you were a little girl, cars or dolls?
Cars.
Cars. Okay,
Oh.
Brookie, it's your turn. You've heard all the questions. Here we go. Favorite food or restaurant?
My favorite food is probably crab or crab cake. My favorite restaurant is a restaurant that has crab or crab cake.
Yeah, there you go. Good answer. What's your favorite beverage?
Shirley Temples.
Shirley Temples. Favorite racetrack food?
Probably the pierogies.
Okay. Favorite color?
Teal.
What? I couldn't hear you.
Teal.
Oh, okay. Favorite animal?
Probably a flamingo.
Oh, yeah. You can buy those in the store, and put them all in your yard, and then your dad would have to mow around them.
No.
Shrimp. Shrimp, so I can turn pink.
Favorite vacation destination where you've already been or somewhere you would like to go?
We've been on a cruise before we've been on a Disney cruise for Kane's birthday, and that was really fun.
Yeah. I think those are really, really good cruises for sure. Favorite candy or snack?
Oh man. Okay. Well, my favorite candy's probably oh, watermelon sour patch kids.
Okay. All right. That's a good one. Favorite racetrack?
My favorite racetrack is probably Baps or yeah, probably Baps.
Okay. Do you have a favorite movie or an actor or actress?
My favorite movie, well, one of my favorite movies is probably Hotel Transylvania 3.
Yeah. Disney Plus.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. What kind of music do you like?
I like either Disney music or Message in a Bottle.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Favorite sports team that's not racing related?
The Flyers, the Phillies, or the Eagles.
Okay. Good choice. Favorite holiday?
Probably Christmas.
All right. Favorite TV or streaming show?
My favorite TV show is on Netflix, and it's called My Perfect Landing. It's a
Okay. Yeah. I've heard of it. Favorite thing to celebrate?
my birthday.
All right. And favorite toy when you were a little girl, cars or dolls?
Dolls.
Okay. All right. That's good.
I always thought they were creepy. I think they're creepy. When you like lay them down, they're like their eyes are like this.
Yeah.
And then up, they're like.
That's funny. When you say that, it makes me think of some different movies I've seen where they walk into a bedroom of like an old person and there's all these old creepy looking dolls, and I can see why you might have felt that way, but
They just stare.
Yeah, that's funny.
Oh,
So
they
Marie Beasley said she just liked your Facebook page. Best of luck to both of you. Always follow your dreams. Thank you, Marie. That's a nice comment. And then John, he said, what is your favorite football team? And you told us
Eagles.
the Eagles. And Marie says, I live in Pennsylvania. Where do you race? Where do you race on Wednesdays?
Phoenixville, PA.
Phoenixville, PA. So she can look that up and see where that is. And maybe she'll come and watch a race. Marie, if you get out and watch the girls race, make sure you tell them you saw them on our podcast.
Track is called MCQM.
MCQM. Yeah. MC quarter midget.
Yep.
Okay, so Tammy Wentz Schifferl. Oh, Tammy, I'm so sorry. Do you know who I'm talking about?
That her last name is Schifferl.
Okay.
And it's our Mimi.
Okay. She says it's the MCQMRC is what it's called. Yeah. And Marie says she'll be there Wednesday night. So, and she said she's friends with the Buckwalters.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. And Tammy gave me a thumbs up. Tammy, I'm sorry I messed up your last name. Good thing Cadence knew how to say it. And Marie said she'll stop and say hi.
Okay.
So there you got a new fan, it sounds like.
What time she should come?
So girls, is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you want to share with me or tell me about your racing? You know, one thing we didn't talk about was, have you had any wins? And if so, how many? Or you're working towards your first win? Maybe I should ask you that, Cadence.
I have a lot of wins, but the one win that I really want is to win an A main. That's the win I really want. Out of national regional. That's like real. That would be really cool.
That'd be that'd be a really big deal for sure. Yeah. And Brooke, how about you? Have you had any wins, or what would be the next one that you're looking forward to?
I've had a lot of wins too, and
Okay.
I'm looking forward to getting. I haven't got a win in my senior animal yet, and I want to get a win in that or get a win in the A main in any car at like a national.
Okay. Yeah. Those are good things to go for. So let's see. We got more. Oh yeah. So she said it's called the Montgomery County Quarter Midget Race Club. That's kind of a lot to remember. Tammy wants to know who eats the most Reese's at the track.
uh, yeah, probably our Poppy eats the most Reese's,
Okay.
but he'll give us some sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So let's ask Dad. Dad, is there anything that we haven't talked about that we want to make sure people know about Two Sisters Racing?
No, I mean they're kind of set in their ways on how they race, and they have their own goal-oriented objectives, which is really great, you know. And I kind of support them 100% in what they want to do. And if they ever came to me and said that they were done with racing, I would, you know, we would probably move on. But they both enjoy it very much. So I will do 100% on what I can to make sure the cars are right, to make sure they're good.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, you know, you and I, obviously, Dad, love racing. And we want our kids to love what we love, but sometimes they don't. And so, you know, I've talked to some dads who are like, my daughter said she doesn't want to race anymore. What do I do? How do I get her to do it? And my advice is you don't get her to do it.
No.
You give her the opportunity to do it. And then if it's not her thing, then she needs to find what her thing is. Like Brooke.
Yes.
Brooke's thing is gymnastics. You have to let them find what it is, and then you have to support them in that. And sometimes dads who are very passionate about racing don't want to hear that answer, but that's really the answer, I think.
Right. And with Brooke doing that, I mean, with Cadence continue on racing and going into bigger cars, if we're at a track and Brooke is there and she's not doing gymnastics, then yeah, she'll race,
Sure.
you know, a car.
Right.
But yeah, racing is definitely Cadence's thing.
Yeah.
You know, and it's okay. I mean, Brooke races good. She's just as good. She just gymnastics is her thing.
Yeah. And that's okay. That's absolutely 100% okay. As long as she's having fun and then that's the way it should be for sure.
Yeah.
So, anything else that we should chat about before I let you go?
No, you girls have anything else to say?
I don't think so. No.
Nothing else to say. We've done a good job. So you said you race. Sometimes you race in Indiana. Where do you, other than Indy, do you ever race other places in Indiana, or is that the only place you've gone?
Oh, that's the only place we've gone to.
Okay.
In Indy, yeah.
Yeah. And how about Michigan? Have you ever raced in Michigan? So
No,
there's a really good you should Google it. There's a really good, and gosh, it just escaped me. I want to say Midwest Quarter Midget something. I know they do a lot of like big races up here.
Yeah.
So you should check that out. And if you ever get close to Kalamazoo, you'll have to let me know, because we have a really nice quarter midget track. It's called Little Kalamazoo Speedway. And I know they host a couple of big, like, not national races, but it would be more like, you know, Michigan, Illinois, Indiana, probably Ohio. Yeah. So
where is it, by Detroit?
Kalamazoo is where the Little Kalamazoo Speedway is. And then I'm not sure where else they race, but I know there, at least there used to be a traveling series that raced at a lot of different tracks, but they always had like Kalamazoo would host one of their big races where people would come from all over.
Okay.
And so just a putting a bug in your ear. If you ever get up close to me, I'd love to come and watch a race. So, well,
we're
girls,
open to traveling. So
yeah, I'm sure it's fun. And, you know, I mean, Pennsylvania would be a little ways from here, but, you know, it'd be a fun trip, and it's kind of straight across and then up
Yeah.
a little bit, so not too bad. Yeah.
No, we'll have to put that on our schedule. See if
Put
we can
that
make
put that down and check it out. And if you can't find it, let me know, and I'll connect you to the gal who, um, kind of ran that thing. Her son is Carson Hocevar, and he races in the NASCAR truck
Oh, cool.
series.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So Amy ran, and maybe still does. I don't think maybe she has as much to do with it since Carson's not involved, but she ran that track and the racing and stuff at Little Kalamazoo Speedway for years. And so yeah, and Carson was he's a nationally recognized quarter midget driver from back in the day. He won races all over the nation. Probably
awesome.
one of the most winning racers in quarter midgets. So
Really?
anyway, if
really
you can't
cool.
find it, let me know and I'll connect you to Amy, and she'll be able to help you.
Great.
So yeah.
Okay.
All right. So one last comment. It says, "Hey girls, look at Katie Hettinger's Facebook. She started in quarter midgets in Michigan, and she now races late models." Yeah, she's a great driver. I did an interview with her a few weeks back. You can probably, if you go on to either my YouTube page or back to like wherever you listen to podcasts, you'll be able to find it. She's a great young gal. She's a really good race car driver, and she did start in quarter midgets in Michigan. So check that out. So there's one thing that we always say at the end of our show, and normally Brett is here to do this, but he is driving home from Missouri. He was in Missouri. They went to Oklahoma to last Wednesday, and then they raced there over the weekend. There was some big race in Oklahoma. And so what he usually says is, the Women's Motorsports Network is a family, and the people that we interview become like members of our family, because now that I've talked to you, I feel like I really know who Cadence is and who Brooke is. You didn't tell us your last name, though.
Joerger.
It's on the front of your shirt, right? Yeah. Joerger. So I wasn't going to pronounce it because I knew I would not say it right. But anyway, but what he always does is he always says, now that you've been on the show with us, you're part of our family. So welcome to the family. So that's what we always want to say at the end.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, girls, you have a great season. I'm going to be following you. Like I have been following you for a while. I'm going to be following what you're doing. I want you to have a lot of success, but most of all, I want you to have a lot of fun out there racing. And at some point, I'd really like to be able to find you somewhere and watch you race. So that's our goal, is to meet in person someday, right? Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Tell your parents thanks for letting you be on and for sharing your story. And I'm going to let you go and finish the show, and then we'll hopefully talk soon.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Good night, girls.
Bye.
Bye. What cute girls. Oh my gosh. It's amazing to me how many young girls that I get to meet and interview, and they're all different and they're all just amazing. And I just have such a good time talking to them. Same those girls tonight. So I did print something. I should have mentioned it while they were on, but something off of Facebook. So the Wednesday night recap, it says Cadence was picked for the club flag during the national anthem. So she got to carry the flag. She ran her world formula, started third, finished fifth. The car started loose, then had a flat left rear tire. Replaced the tire and made adjustments. It looked much better, but just couldn't gain positions. Brooke ran the light 160 for the first time. She started in P2, finished P4, and she looked great. Just needs to push the car a little more, but that will come with time in this class. And then they always thank their sponsors, and I love that, and I could show you on Facebook. They always thank their sponsors. And if you're not doing that, then you need to get in the habit of it, because they may not be there next year if you don't. So that's just how it goes. Amelia Earhart Racing. I love her name, Amelia. And it says "Yeah, baby" on the Facebook, and it says heat winner. And I think it was Escanaba is where she was. Escanaba Speedway. Amelia Earhart Racing, and she did a great job. Excuse me. Ashley Freiberg won today's Porsche. This was a couple days ago. Won today's Porsche Sprint Challenge race at Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. This was a hard-fought battle all the way to the very last lap, side-by-side racing through multiple corners to work her way to the lead. And then she thanked her crew and everyone. And so, yeah, MDK Motorsports is who she races for, and I'll try to hold that up. Whoops. So you can see they're spraying champagne or something in the winner's circle. So that looks like fun. The Wheel Sisters Family Group says Pill Draw 191. They did, this is Adriana Timmerman, which is Brett's daughter. They do the 2 heat race inverts formats. She doesn't like that. She's got a thumbs down. 9:30 p.m. heat race number 4. She started 4th and finished 4th at 2:30 a.m. Why they're racing at 2:30 a.m. Somebody needs to do something about that, but that's my opinion. Invert heat race number 4 started P3, finished P4. The B main today started 4th and needed to finish in the top 3. So I need a lot of luck, and I'm not sure how she did. She said, I have some heavy hitters in my heats. And let me see if I had anybody else. Ella Fifield, heat 1, race 11. She won her heat race. Ella Fifield, she was at Silver Bullet Speedway, and she's from Lapeer, Michigan. And here's another one about Amelia Earhart Racing. She was 3rd in the A feature, 13 cars on the track. And then I always love seeing new little racers. And so welcome to Cortland Aselton. The North Georgia Quarter Midget Association says our newest red rookie, and she did her first training session today. So that's pretty exciting for sure. The Power Eye feature winner. So Taylor Reamer went from 5th to 2nd in Power Eye, and that's really, really good. She races with Keith Kuntz Motorsports. And the last one is way to go, Lauren Freer, the first woman to double up at an NHRA national event. So she won 2 different things there, which is really cool. So that's everything I have. Normally Brett is here to share some things, but he's traveling, he's driving. And so we're going to give him a pass for tonight for sure. Now, next week, our guest is going to be Rowan Edgar. And the week after that, we have a return guest, Briley. Let's see. Not Briley Kilmer. I just lost it. I don't know. It's somebody that's coming back that's been on before, and we wanted to have her back again. So I guess it'll be a surprise because her name just left me and I can't remember. But anyway, so sorry about that. But that's what happens when you get old and it's 8 o'clock at night and it's time to go watch the rest of the NASCAR race. So I hope all of you had a great week. I have a happy 4th of July. Be safe. Support your local racetracks. Support the racers at those racetracks if you're able. And we'll talk to you next Sunday. Have a great week. See you at the track.